Oh shit.
Alright, so we're back to another Dragon Ball Super card game video. It feels like all I do is just review things on a website now. Can I make a normal video now? Bandai, Jesus. Well, as you already may or may not know, there was a addition, an update slash whatever you want to call it to the ban limit errata list, and as you can see, there's a few cards that are I think good choices, honestly. Like Too Long Didn't Watch, they're pretty good choices. I think with set 7 in mind, just like they were saying, it creates more of a control slash kind of fair format in the way of we have a lot more answers and a lot more leeway with a lot of different things. So let's kind of get into that. Before I do that, I'm going to put a poll at the top right, and of course you can always comment at in the comments below, but the poll will say, are you happy with the ban list, yes or no, or something along those lines. And I'll put the votes there, and just vote for me, thanks. Anyway, so again, Too Long Didn't Watch. The first ban card is going to be Battery Laser, and this is very, very interesting that they actually went this route. Like all three of these cards that got banned, as well as the limited card, it's really interesting that they went with the let's have more interactions, and as well as just giving other decks a little bit of a chance, kind of. And I'll kind of go into that. Battering Laser in itself was kind of a bad card in the current format and with the card pool available. It was never really that bad of a card up until like set 3. Set 4, that's where we started getting Storm and as well as TOP and Victory Strike, etc. And Battering was that cheap sort of counter to make sure that no matter what, the thing that you are trying to do will happen. And again, staying with the theme here of getting more interaction out of the game is basically what they want to have. And you can see here, as far as the reasoning, which is good, that they're very transparent, very happy that Bandai is doing this. I'm always going to be happy with their decision. Well, okay, let's put it this way. I'm happy with the decisions that they had so far, and as well as the cards that they continually have coming out. But the reasons here is that this is the only counter negation card with the energy cost of 1, with the other one being, well, the main one being the new Cooler, which is kind of the replacement here. I can kind of see that happening with your boss card on the field, and then 3 open energy, and then swinging, and then using the Cooler. I can kind of see that happening, but I don't know. It will require like a lot of setup, and it's just not worth it. Battering, on the other hand, has a few restrictions on its usage, but it can be easily used in almost any deck, and you only really need 1 yellow card, which at the worst was an inconvenience versus a huge restriction. And then combining this with Mira and further instruction Champa provided players with the overwhelming power with a little energy, making sure that they easily win when their opponent reaches 2 life, which is very, very true. So without Battering Laser, at least you can now counter, especially with the new set 7 cards going in the drop and then activating and paying that cost. You now have a lot more options than anything else, and I think this is a really good decision. And in terms of design, it's difficult for us to create playable high cost counter cards as long as this card exists. And every single time that there was a card that was 2 or more for the counter cost or counter play cost, people always refer back to Battering Laser, and they are completely right. Like as long as Battering Laser and you're playing against yellow and it exists in the format, which yellow still, even after this ban, is still very, very strong and always has been. I think, yeah, it's completely right. I think this was the right decision for them to actually design cards for people to play them and for people to use them and actually go through that, or to use them. Anyway, moving on, you kind of get the idea. I was like, this was not on my list as a priority. Like, I'm more focusing on win cons, and I think Bandai is taking a step back than, okay, how do we not kill off different archetypes, but strengthen different colors? And I've mentioned this before in a video way back when, that to make more archetypes playable, you have to give them more tools and actually in cards that you actually want to play. And I think that's the direction that they want to take it, where you have more or less Okay, more interaction and more options within that color, and as well as that archetype. And then now you don't really have to worry about defending yourself when it comes to negates and against yellow. All right, moving on. Speaking of yellow, so Shugesh was something I can agree with as well. This one, and as well as Mighty Skilly Zone. Like I can kind of now agree with what their direction is. And Eggman said it best as far as Shugesh being, wow, that really rhymed. I said being way too degenerate to kind of exist. The only thing that people or players or the community was kind of having, or at least having a reason that why Shugesh wasn't on the ban list, was because of Cronoa. And Cronoa, just like if you haven't checked out Sensu Pop's video on Cronoa, shout out to him, go check that out. It explained it pretty well. Like if you didn't draw it, it was just dead. And by the time you did draw it, because you do have an 8% chance or so, even with a playset in your deck, it was too late. Like the purpose for Shugesh was already fulfilled, and it played out a very extremely powerful card, or at least something to combo with it, like Triple Flash. And like they said, while Cronoa can be used to keep the card in check, we felt that forcing players to include it just neutralizes card, making deck building less fun and restricting how players play the game in general. Completely true. Any 3-card Saiyan now, especially with all the Saiyans coming out in set 7, now Veggies doesn't have to be played in a yellow leader. It can be played in anything else, and now yellow leaders don't really have to refer back to Shugesh in this high quality card. Moving on, you kind of get the idea. I agree with pretty much everybody when it comes to Shugesh. Now, this one, Mighty Skilly Zone, I mentioned this in the last stream that I had, probably midway or so, that with the direction that set 7 was coming or going towards, was that Mighty Skilly Zone is most likely to go on the ban list. A lot of people didn't like that idea, didn't really believe it. A good amount of people did, which, you know, you can reserve your opinion. This is all opinionated. This is nothing facts. It's just, you know, kind of a discussion, which that's perfectly fine, unless you're Joel and your opinion is just completely incorrect. But for Mighty Skilly Zone, because of all the new counterplay cards, some people see it as a cash grab, but really the other part of it is that the new counterplay cards in every single color are actually very, very useful and very, very annoying. Yes, I can see the concern of slower games, and as well as games that sort of just sit there in the first three turns, especially with the existence of Kai, and as well as a few other cards that disrupt the other player from playing or attacking, like the 2-drop FR Goku. But the other side of it is that really counterplay cards should be reserved for the combo cards, such as Path to Greatness, the baby, like the 4-drop baby, etc., that plays out another big boy, whatever that may be. And of course, the new counterplay cards, like the red one, is actually really, really good because it covers a lot more than you may think. The new one with the Vegeta, I think the one that you have to pitch to or it gets put in the drop, is extremely strong now because you don't have to worry about minus. Yes, it is kind of annoying that you have to put up 2, but that is the cost, and that is the thing that you have to kind of think about, and as well as why this isn't that big of a deal. Like, you still have to pay the energy, you still have to draw it, right? It's a card game, guys. I do not think that this is that big of a deal, but I am happy that it creates more of an environment for counterplays to exist. All right, moving on. Cold Bloodlust. I didn't see this one coming. I will let you know, but I understand the reasoning. So just like it says, this is one of the strongest counterplay cards in the game, and probably is still the most powerful counterplay cards in the game. It took him 7 sets to realize that a person playing a card and then that person not being able to get those effects or those on-play effects, and also having 2 different rulings to make it even more complicated, or 2 different timings to make it even more complicated, and changing the game completely was a bad thing. But I guess now they kind of see it. And this got limited to 1, so they said if they ban Battery Laser and Mighty Skilly Zone, would be necessary to ban this card as well, since the primary cards that can deal with it will be banned, which is fine. And then this would cause decks to unable to use this card to be considered less powerful, which is fine as well. It says it does have a leader restriction, which is probably why they were not thinking that it was that big of a deal. Every format has had a Frieza's Army leader pretty strong or up there that played Cold Bloodlust in some way, shape, or form, excluding maybe Storm, but that was just a mistake in general. That I think was just bad, and as well as Super Saiyan 3. But now it's been limited, and yeah, it just makes sense. Like with minus Killzone out, Cobalt SF4 would be completely bad, and having that one game-ending card, or at least tempo-changing card, is very appropriate to have. I wouldn't be surprised if this just ended up being on the ban list eventually. And now Paragus, so it got ratted. So by your leader skills, so now you can't cheese out things when they get placed in the drop area. So I'm glad that they ratted this. There are a few different combos where it's said to play in the drop area, just like Caulifla, but now it's just leader ability. There you go. All right. So the other part of this is that what is really affected by the format. So the current format, if you take a look here, this is the ARG Invitational. I went through it. This is Scott Slater stuff, and as well as the next image with the I think Ohio and the Montreal, I do believe. So shout out to whoever made that. I know Manny posted it in there, but whoever made it, shout out to you guys. Anyway, so Kid Goku, I don't think is affected really by at all by this. Kid Goku, whatever variant, whether it's yellow, blue, red, etc. I don't think it's really affected at all. I don't think it even gets stronger. I think it's still a very good deck, but with the existence of Toa and as well as just low cost cards that remove a lot, it makes sense that it'll kind of stay the same, if not get just a little bit worse. I think the Broly Victory Strike and as well as Harudegan, which didn't really top anyway within the ARG Invitational, did get affected pretty well. I mean, obviously Cobalt, obviously Battering Laser, and as well as the counterplays, or minus Killzone being taken away, Harudegan chain attack, and really any chain attack like Pan or chain attack focused deck, it kind of got a little hurt because of that. Because now minus Killzone can't guarantee their chain attack will go off. Even if Cobalt is out, we still have all these new these counterplays, including Preemptive Strike in this current format. And since this takes an effect, I didn't mention this, on the 26th. We might see this in Pasadena, and I will be there. So thanks, Bandai. I appreciate you putting this on me now. So Broly started with yellow, may move on to green, like a mono green color. Broly starter already was kind of a little weird in the format, only simply because a lot of people already know the matchup. If you didn't know, then okay. Gentleman Mill is in this current format really unaffected, honestly, really unaffected by this. But the next format, because of the new cards, and as well as the new options like Burning Life and etc., it's actually gonna get kind of neutered. Like Janemba should, if the format changes correctly or in the right direction, I think it will be, get hurt a little bit. And then Traded Dende might get actually a little stronger. I think Traded Dende really didn't get affected by at all by the list, and with the new set 7 stuff, I don't think he really gets stronger, but it will play pretty well for those that are a little technical as far as this deck goes, because you just, you know, see the hand and you play whatever you want, and a lot of the cards upcoming in set 7, if you're going to be play those, can easily just be KO'd by, you know, 2 revivals. So there you go. And then Lord Slug, I think, gets a little stronger in set 7 only because of the new counterplay. Chilai probably is not that great. I would probably direct this to Eggman. He would know best. I think any Victory Strike deck is not amazing. Maybe Shenron Victory Strike is a little bit better than Broly now, only because of the lack of Cobalt lesson as well as Battery Laser. But that is just me. Anyway, everything else is kind of rogue. We will see what set 7 brings us and Pasadena. If we take a look at the stuff from Montreal and as well as Ohio, this gives a little bit more information here. Do what you want with that. That's really a bit about it for the ban list. Let me know in the comments below. Again, vote if you did not already, and that's it. And real quick, we do have all of the TP7 stuff, the shop tournament stuff, released now. A really quick rundown is that this is the three cost red card, which goes in the red and green deck for Raditz. That's what this is purposely for. And this one says if there's a green Vegeta with energy cost of 6, you play it for free, and you can't play it for the duration of turn. And then this basically procs off his effect, where you place it in the drop area and draw a card, and then I do believe you play a multicolored Vegeta from your drop after that. And then Kaba, Bonds of Universe 6. So you play this card, and if there's a Universe 6 battle card in your drop area, you choose one card from your hand and place it in the drop area, and you choose one of blue, yellow, non-Kaba Universe 6 in your hand and play it. So we do have the 2 new Kale and Cauliflas, and as well as a couple other pretty good targets for Universe 6 for searching as well as tutoring. So pretty good, I'd say. And it's blue. Trunks, a Helping Blast. So this is a blocker revenge for 3 costs, and you can only be played in the battle area for free if you have a red and green card in your energy area. Now, I'm going to say this, and I hope I am not wrong, but I don't care if I'm wrong. I think this card, along with the Nappa, along with the SER, and then the new Gohan, the Burst Gohan that burns the life from 5 or less, or 5 or more, is going to be extremely good. Like, I think that is going to be a deck that hopefully people are going to be experimenting with. The new 2-cost Desire is going to be broken as well with that. And just overall, it's just going to be really good. I honestly think it's going to be one of the best decks in set 7. Cool that we have a free revenge blocker though. So Secret Desire Zamasu. This one's a cantrip. You draw one, and when your opponent attacks, you choose one yellow card from your hand and drop it, and then place it in the drop area. And then you choose one of your yellow energy, switch to rest mode, and negate the attack. It is literally a negates on the board if you don't have one in your hand, and a draw one. 5k. Not strong, not bad either, but it's pretty good. This one is the 2-cost Combo Strike card. Still don't have a 10-cost or 0-cost 5k for a multicolor card. I don't think they're ever going to print one, but I have been wrong in the past before. This one says if you attack or is attacked, you may choose one card from your hand and place it in the drop area. Choose one from your battle, up to one battle card in your drop area, and that is both red and green, and combo with in the combo area. So this one, as well as the Vegito, are the same, but for blue yellow. We have been, if you didn't look at my community post already, we did confirm that there's a blue red Gogeta. So hopefully we get one of those as well for blue red, since that's basically going to be another archetype for us. And this is really cool because now, when it attacks, you can now activate Alliance on their turn or your turn, basically for one card. And as long as you have one, as in the battle card in the drop area, it's gonna happen. And I think this is really, really good. Again, in that Gohan deck. So no surprise that this is a Gohan card. Nappa, Vegeta's Underling. Oh, sorry Nappa, that was a downgrade. This can't be KO'd, so that's cool. It's a 2-cost. When you play this card, choose one from your hand to the drop area, and then look at the top 10. Get a red or green Raditz or Vegeta 3 or less, and add them to your hand. It's a pretty good cantrip, and it's pretty good for the permanent effect, because I believe there is one card that requires a green Nappa on board, right? 2 costs. I forget which one. There's so many cards now. I admit it. Okay. Really brilliant pairing Kefla. It's a dual attacker for free. It's a Yun Batora, so you can play the 1 and 2 drop, and as well as the hit deck just got better because you can play them for free, and then you can only be played if your leader card is yellow. So it's made for hit, and then we already know the Vegito. So let me know what you think, guys. I think there's been a couple other updates. I didn't go over the Universe 6 Assailant stuff, but I did mention I was going to make a comment. There's really a few very direct cards for the archetype, which is cool. This is a very cool card, but probably not worth playing for 4. Planet Sadala is cool as well, but it has energy exhaust, so that automatically makes it bad. The effect is cool. The effect is cool. I actually didn't see the Deadly Poison one. This one's it's a counterplay card. Okay, so more minus Killy Zone being banned, even more reason for that. And then a battle card with your opponent's played in rest mode, negated. Oh, the skills negated. Okay, there's the Cold Bloodlust. I think we have another one as well, the hit card. Maybe I'm wrong on that one, but draw one and your life is 3 or less. You untap 1 blue or yellow energy. Very cool. I think this is pretty cool. I think we've already seen this one. This is another Khalifa target, looking like the 4-drop. When you play this card, add 1 to your life, and then switch one of them to rest mode. I think we already saw that one. This is another hit. When you play this card, reduces the combo cost of a blue. Oh, there you go. This is the way. Very nice. Bandai. Every other one I think has been kind of spoiled. I'm not really too interested in them, so there you go. Either way, let me know what you guys think. So many cards, so little time. We only have a few weeks left before Pasadena and as well as this set dropping in August 2nd. But I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Later.